Okay, I want you to think back to Tuesday. Just a couple of days ago, February 3rd, 2026. If you're an AFT Dice fan, I'm guessing your heart rate is probably just getting back to normal now.
I'm not sure mine is. That was, it was just absolute carnage.
Carnage is the word. Complete and total carnage, in the best way, of
Oh,
course.
of course. For the neutral fan, it was incredible.
We just saw round 17 wrap up, the final siren of the regular season, and I don't think I've ever seen a ladder shift so dramatically in the final hours.
Tectonically, you said earlier. And that's right. The pleats were just shifting under everyone's feet.
They really were. Top teams were just crumbling. Teams at the bottom were surging. It was wild.
It's the story of season 11, isn't it? The narrative just refuses to be locked in. You think you know who's good, who's safe, and then
Yeah,
Tuesday happens.
exactly. And that's what we need to do today. This isn't just a scoreboard recap. We need to get into the how of it all. We need to dissect the heartbreak for some of these clubs and the pure heroism for others.
And we have to do it quickly because Cutthroat September is here. The finals are set, and the stakes are, well, they're terrifyingly high.
So let's get right into the weeds. I'm still sort of buzzing from it all, but the biggest story has to be the shock of the round.
No question.
If you're an Adelaide Crows fan, you wake up Tuesday morning feeling pretty good, right?
I feel great. You're in the top 4. You have a home game at Adelaide Oval against the Gold Coast Suns. The job is simple. Win, and you secure that double chance.
Bank the 4 points.
Yeah.
Simple.
Should have been.
Instead it was. It was a disaster. I was looking at the scoring. It wasn't a tight defensive game. It was a complete shootout.
And the Suns won it. They outgunned them. Final score was Gold Coast 127 to Adelaide's 120.
A 7-point margin. That's it.
But those 7 points, the consequence of that loss is just staggering. It's statistically brutal.
They didn't just slide a bit, did they?
No, they didn't just fall out of the top 4. They fell out of the finals completely. They finished 9th.
From a double chance to planning their end-of-season trip. Wow.
It's the definition of a free fall. At home, with everything on the line.
While that's happening, the fight for the last spot, for 8th, was getting mathematically just, insane.
The percentage drama, this is my favorite part.
Yeah.
When it becomes a math problem under intense pressure.
So you've got GWS playing Collingwood, and the Giants know they can't just win. A 1-point win does nothing for them.
Right, they needed the margin. They needed to boost that percentage.
And they got it. They won by 21 points, 81-60.
And that number, that 21-point margin, is the only reason they're playing finals.
Because if you look at the table, it's so crowded around that mark.
It's a total log jam. You have 3 teams, GWS, Port Adelaide, and Collingwood, all finishing with a 9-8 record.
Identical wins and losses.
Exactly. But the percentage tells the story. GWS finished on 107.7%. That's incredibly healthy for an 8th-place team.
So who are the victims here?
Oh, Port Adelaide. This one just hurts to look at. They lost to Geelong by 6 points.
Another tiny margin.
6 points. A single goal swings the other way, and Port are in the finals. They finished with a percentage of 101.6%. Good, but not good enough.
And Collingwood, after losing to GWS, they're the 3rd team on 9-8.
Yep, and their percentage drops to 94.8%. So GWS is in, Port and Collingwood are out. It's brutal. The reports call it percentage heartbreak.
It really proves that old cliche, doesn't it? Every single goal matters, even one back in round 3.
There is no such thing as garbage time in this league. Every point is equity.
So while all that chaos was unfolding, the top of the ladder was having its own battles. The Richmond versus West Coast game felt like a final.
It had that intensity, for sure. Proper contest. The Eagles managed to get it done at the MCG, winning by 11 points.
And the significance of that is huge.
Oh, massive. That win locks West Coast into a top 2 seed. It guarantees them the double chance, and most importantly, a home final in week 1.
Which, for a Perth team, is just gold dust.
It's everything. And then you had the other big one, Sydney versus Brisbane.
I watched this. The Lions just looked professional. Clinical.
It was a statement win, wasn't it? A 33-point victory that just confirmed what we already suspected. Brisbane are the minor premiers. They finished top of the ladder.
Deservedly so. But before we get to the power rankings, we have to touch on the weirdest results. The, meaningless upsets.
Meaningless on the ladder, but fascinating stories.
North Melbourne. They've had a terrible year. They get the wooden spoon for last place. And in the final round, they produce the biggest win of the week.
It's the ultimate irony, isn't it? They beat Hawthorn by 25 points, the biggest margin of round 17. The team that finished last was the most dominant team of the round.
As a fan, you'd be so frustrated. Like, where has this been all season?
A little glimpse of what could be. And then you have Melbourne upsetting St. Kilda.
Right. Saints are a top 3 team, and the Demons beat them by 6 points at Marvel.
That win for Melbourne was actually really significant. It wasn't just a consolation prize. It showed they have this incredible late charge going on, beating a top side just before finals. That's a huge confidence boost.
That's the perfect way to get into it. The regular season is done. Let's talk power rankings. Who are the real contenders here?
Okay, so I think you can break them into tiers. The top tier for me is spots 1 through 3. And at number 1, it has to be the Brisbane Lions.
The minor premiers.
Yep, 12-5 record. But it's more than that. It's the Gabba Fortress. They're so hard to beat at home, and they've won those clutch games all year. They are the flag favorites.
And who's right behind them?
At number 2, the West Coast Eagles. They're 11-6. Our notes call them the Road Warriors, and after that win at the MCG, you can see why. The premiership defense is alive and well.
I like that. Road Warriors.
The number 3,
St. Kilda. Also 11-6. The pressure machine. Yes, they lost that last game, but their style of play is built for finals football. High intensity. They're dangerous.
So that's the elite group. Then you have the next pack, the middle pack. Dangerous, but maybe flawed. Exactly. At number 4, Richmond. Their tag is attack lethal. They can score on anyone and fast. The problem, defense exposed late. They've been leaking points, which is a worry.
And Melbourne, the team with that late surge.
They come in at 5, the scoring monster. They are peaking at the perfect time. You do not want to run into a team that's just hitting its stride in September.
Okay, then Geelong at 6. It feels like they sort of stumbled into the finals.
A late wobble is the term, for sure. But they have an ace up their sleeve. The home fortress, playing them down at GMHBA Stadium is just a nightmare for visiting teams.
A huge advantage. And who rounds out the 8?
Gold Coast at 7, they are the wild card. Pure momentum. And GWS at 8, the biggest riser, because they just, they found a way to survive.
It's just so cruel for Adelaide, isn't it? To finish 9th, the biggest fall, with a percentage that's actually better than 3 of the teams in the finals.
Yeah, it's the brutality of the win-loss record. It tells you that you were a good team, just not a clutch one.
All right. Deep breath. The past is the past. Let's look forward. Cutthroat September. Finals week 1.
This is where it all resets. 4 huge games.
Let's start with the qualifying finals. Winners go to the prelims, losers get a second chance. First up, Brisbane Lions versus Melbourne at the Gabba.
Minor premiers against the surging Dees.
The sources seem pretty clear on this one. They're tipping Brisbane by 22 points.
It makes sense. The Gabba Fortress factor is real. And honestly, our source has this down as the lock of the week. Brisbane by 20 plus.
That's a bold call. You're not worried about Melbourne's scoring power.
I am, but Brisbane at home in a final is just a different animal, I think, to get it done.
Okay. Then the second qualifying final, West Coast Eagles versus St. Kilda at Optus Stadium.
The Road Warriors versus the Pressure Kings.
This one is going to be electric. Night game in Perth, that crowd will be hostile.
It'll be deafening. The prediction here is West Coast by 12.
A bit tighter.
But it's such a tall order to go to Perth and beat the Eagles under lights.
Yeah. All right, now for the nervy ones. The elimination finals, sudden death. Lose and you're out. First is Richmond against GWS at the MCG.
The Tigers' lethal attack against, well, the team that just snuck in.
The prediction is Richmond by 18. That MCG blockbuster energy feels like it'll be too much for the Giants.
I'd agree. GWS has done incredibly well to get here, but Richmond on the big stage is overwhelming.
And finally, the one I think is the most fascinating game of the round. The second elimination final, Geelong Cats versus the Gold Coast Suns.
This is the one.
On paper, you say Geelong. It's at their home fortress, GMHBA Stadium. The prediction is Cats by 15 because of that Cardinia Park roar. But I'm looking at our notes, and there's a huge upset alert flashing right next to this game.
A massive one. The analysis explicitly flags this as the biggest potential boilover.
It's a big set alert.
Suns over Cats.
Talk me through that. Why? Geelong at home is usually a lock.
Usually. But Geelong has had that late wobble. They're not in top form. The Suns, meanwhile, just went into a hostile environment in Adelaide and won a shootout against a top 4 team. They have belief. They have momentum.
And they have absolutely nothing to lose.
That's the key. No one expects them to win this game. All the pressure in the world is on Geelong to defend their fortress.
And in a do-or-die final, that pressure can do funny things.
It really can. If the Suns start fast, kick a couple of early goals, you'll hear that roar at Cardinia Park turn into a nervous murmur. very, very quickly.
So just to recap the week, Brisbane is the lock, West Coast and Richmond are the favorites, but everyone should be keeping a very, very close eye on the Gold Coast Suns.
That's the story. The power rankings tell you one thing, but the chaos of season 11 tells you another. Why should it stop now?
It brings up such an interesting question for the finals, doesn't it? This idea of momentum versus experience.
That's the whole battle of September right there.
If you have to trust one in a cutthroat final, what is it? Do you trust Geelong's decade of finals experience, or do you trust a Suns team running on pure adrenaline and joy?
Logic. Logic always tells you to go with experience. You trust the systems, the structures that have been proven to work. But there is something genuinely terrifying about playing a team that doesn't know it's supposed to lose. Momentum is a powerful, powerful thing in this sport.
And that's the thought I want to leave everyone with. In a winner-take-all game, does a home fortress really matter against a team with nothing to lose? I guess we're about to find out.
I cannot wait to watch it unfold.
It's going to be something else. One loss and you're done. The drama is absolutely guaranteed. Thanks for diving into this with us.
My pleasure. Let's see who's left standing.
We'll be watching. Catch you on the other side.